Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at another shelf in the Dice Tower library. This is rack 24, and it's kind of a hodgepodge of some degree, but not necessarily. One thing I want to point out that's on this shelf is deduction. At the top we have social deduction. Now before you cry that Blood in the Clock Tower is not there, that's just a giant box so it fits somewhere else. But here in the whole top shelf is social deduction. So we start with Feed the Kraken, one of the best social deduction style games that's out there, with some really nice painted miniatures inside it too. Sheriff of Nottingham, which is not quite social deduction, but has that same kind of feel. You're trying to guess if other people are lying or not. Among Cultists, this one is just a couple years old and has, again, who's lying and who's not. Deception Murder in Hong Kong has showed up on many Dice Tower Top 100 lists. A lot of people enjoyed that. Hail Hydra, if you want a Marvel-themed social deduction style game. Escape from the Aliens in Outer Space. This is a very fun game. You'll feel a sweat trickle down you as you play, as you are running from aliens in a space base, but you're not sure who at the table is an alien. Phantom Inc., which is sort of a party game where you're trying to guess letters in the word. Good Critters. This is an unsung game in the Dice Tower Essentials, but one of the best games, I think, where you're splitting a bunch of loot at the table afterwards. Then we have One Night Revolution, which is kind of a combination of The Resistance and One Night Ultimate Werewolf. The Resistance, one of the most well-known of all the different social deduction games. Night of the Ninja. This one's a really easy one to play. If you want an entry into the genre, that's one I would pick. Then two Spyfalls, Normal Spyfall and DC Spyfall, because I think DC Spyfall is funny. Bang the Duel and Bang. That's Bang the Dice game, I think. Then we have One Night Ultimate Werewolf and One Night Ultimate Supervillains. I don't need 80 versions of the game, so those are the two in the library. And then The Chameleon, another party game where you're trying to figure out who doesn't know the answer to the clue. The next shelf is, who knows? It's just a hodgepodge of stuff. Starting with Bullet Heart, which I think has Bullet Star in it too. Sort of a puzzle-style game. Liftoff, get me off this planet. The planet's going to blow up, and you need to figure the best way to get off of it. Karn is a two-player abstract strategy game. All-Star Draft is a really unique hockey drafting game. Bonsai came out last year from DV Jochi. Didn't get a ton of buzz, but a nice Zen-type game where you're building a bonsai tree. The Small Pandemics, two of them anyway, Hot Zone Europe and Hot Zone North America. Next to Pandemic Contagion. Have you ever wanted to be the disease? No? Well, it's still there anyway. Mainframe, that's an Android spinoff. It's a very two-player abstract game. Forever Home, about finding homes for dogs. Good theme there. Gin Crafters, a little card game about, well, making gin. Unforgiven, the Lincoln Assassination Trial. This is a two-player game that's very fun as you try to convince the judges to vote guilty or not in that trial. King of Tokyo Duel, another two-player style game. Hidden Leaders has some really great artwork in that game. Zombicide, there's the roll and write style game. Then next to Expedition from Korean board games. Jewels for the Emperor Penguin, a nice game about switching resources for other resources. Very cool game. And Veil of Eternity, just an amazing, fun game next to Fairy Ring. Both of those are really terrific games. The next shelf has some card games on it. We have a lot of our card games in separate card holders, but some need to be in an original box. So we have Indulgence here, a great trick-taking game where Shooting the Moon is really fun. Custom Heroes, where you build the cards over the course of the game. Panda Spin, you're spinning the cards. Niet, this is a game where you're kind of voting on what Trump is and a bunch of other rules in the game. Dwarf King, if you want chaos in your trick-taking game. The Gang, if you like cooperative poker. I don't know why I said that. The cooperative poker is the gang. Anyway, and Cat in a Box, one of the most well-known trick-taking games there is. Then Wrath of Fire Mountain, which is kind of like My Little Blood Rage. Moon Rollers, a dice rolling game from Ivy Studios. Imperial Miners, never did get around to playing that. I did play Mining Colony, though, which is a really fun little drafting game. Life in Reterra, a more calm game from Eric Lang. Then Terraforming Mars, the dice game, which is trash. Next to Terraforming Mars, Ares Expedition, the card game, which is quite good. Wormholes, a racing game from AEG. Stone Spire Architects, kind of a card placement game, and Subterra, a game Z really enjoys about moving through a cave before the bad guys get you. Then down here, we have regular deduction games. So we have Paint the Roses, Spectral, which is almost induction over deduction, but really good. Tiwanaku, which is another game I haven't played yet, which I mean to. Almost Innocent, that's an easier deduction game. The Lost Code, try to figure out some numbers. Tesseract, a cooperative deduction game. The Search for Planet X, which kind of brought new life to this genre. And I got both follow-ups there, the Search for Lost Species and the Search for UAPs. Scotland Yard, which is the OG deduction game. Witness, a cooperative deduction game where you whisper in other people's ears. Bomb Busters, probably the hottest of the new deduction style games. AI Space Puzzle, which doesn't get played because it has the word AI in it, but is a very good one with many cooperative games. Turing Machine. Hooky, which does not look good, but is one of the best games on this shelf. Chronologic, we have both in the library, but the other one's new, so it's on our new shelf. Cryptid, which I know a ton of people really enjoy. And then we have Awkward Guests. And then there's one more shelf down here. This one's just a mishmash of stuff. The Networks, although we are soon adding the new all-play version of the Networks. The Dragon Road, which is a worker placement game where the rules change depending on what page in a book you're in. Cascadero and Cryptic Nature. Cryptic Nature is not a great game, but if you like cryptids, it's there. We slid a Rap of Mine in here because it really goes on this shelf with the deduction games on top of Unsettled, which looks like you can buy a stereo in that box. Tales of Arthurian Knights and Cyclades, very big game, Cyclades. This is the deluxe version. And Tales of Arthurian Knights, that's the brand new version from WizKids. Then we have a Magic the Gathering, a bunch of Commander decks. If you want to play Magic, it's in our library. And then Primal the Awakening, we shrunk down as much as we could to still give people a ton of content. So which games are my favorite on each of these shelves? Well, on the top shelf, it's Sheriff of Nottingham. What an absolute fantastic game. On the second shelf, it's very easy. Veil of Eternity is terrific. I play it a lot. On the third shelf, this one's trickier. I think probably Terraforming Mars, Ares Expeditions. I enjoy that combination of Race for the Galaxy and Terraforming Mars. On the deduction shelf, it's probably Bomb Busters. That's really a solid game, but I like so many of the games there. And then on the bottom shelf, it's Cyclades. Cyclades, that new version is just terrific. So those are my favorite games. What are yours? Let me know in the comments. I'm Tom Vasel, and this is another Rack in the Dice Tower Library. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vasel.